guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're here in California, and guess what? I got something a little special for you. This is the updated, changed up, refreshed 2022 Toyota RAV4. Our particular one is not only a hybrid, but it is the XSE trim. But before we get into this fuel-sipping, compact crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. The Toyota RAV4, believe it or not, it's been around since 1994. I was a senior in high school, and man, have things changed in the auto industry, especially when it comes to crossovers and crossover SUVs. Now, obviously, in the compact segment of crossover SUVs, there's a lot of big names, a lot of hot competitors. This RAV4 really has come into its own, being that best-selling vehicle in the United States, and I think one of the many reasons is you could have your RAV4 just about any which way you want it, especially with this hybrid. Now, there is the RAV4 Prime, which is going to be that plug-in electric hybrid, but I really think that this is the sweet spot in their different versions of the RAV4 to bring not only fuel savings, but also great usability. So let's go ahead, let's find out what the heck did Toyota do for 2022 to the RAV4, and is this the better compact crossover SUV than the Honda CR-V hybrid? Let's go ahead and find out with our Cavalry Blue RAV4 hybrid. Right off the bat, Cavalry Blue. Once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away, this was a TRD color. Now it's on the RAV4, and it's looking really great. At the front of the business, you're gonna see some of those changes. We got new interiors on the headlight housing. So you're gonna have new daytime running lamps, turn signals, everything blacked out with those LED projector style beam headlights. I like what they did. The simplicity of the updates really changes the look. And when you go XSE trim on the hybrid, which is the top trim, you're also gonna get the LED lighting on each corner. Very, very similar to what you find on the Prime version of this vehicle. A little bit of gloss black, nothing too crazy. Gloss black on the bottom portion. Now, what I like about the gloss black, it's got a metallic blue sparkle to it. So it's not just simply piano black. It actually has a great sparkle to it in the sun. And with the Cavalry Blue, really balances nicely. We come across the RAV4 grille. You have that metallic black finish, forward-facing camera, which is a nice touch on this XSE trim. And of course, we got the Toyota badge with the blue, signifying that this is an electrified vehicle. Remember, Toyota was really big starting off the whole hybrid craze with the Prius 21 years ago, if you could believe that. There is a large splattering of that metallic black in the center here. Looking new, looking fresh on our 2022 model. It looks great. It'll be interesting to see how these age over time. You have that nice satin aluminum finish that has a great look, simulated kind of skid plate design on the lower portion of this SUV. And then as we rise up onto the hood, everything is gonna be the same to this generation of the RAV4. You got a nice U-shaped indentation, everything coasting right towards the A-pillars, but you know what? There's more changes for 2022. When we come around the bend, this is what we're working with, wheel and tire setup. We have a totally new 18-inch wheel, gloss black, split spoke design, 225 on the width, and a nice meaty 60 series sidewall is gonna give you a comfortable ride as you're going down the road. I'm also gonna have Lori kind of showcase, you do get shocks that are specific to the hybrid setup, especially the XSE. And what's kind of cool is they almost look Cavalry Blue, just like the exterior color. And of course, you're gonna have all-wheel drive. We have electric motors up front and also an electric motor out rear to give us that all-wheel drive. And then you're gonna have that cohesive design with the nice metallic black finish around the fender treatments. But with the Cavalry Blue, spot on the money. Now, as we go down the side, of course, we're gonna have the metallic black on the mirror caps with your slim and trim LED turn signals. One thing I wish they would have done is blacked out the shiny chrome at the top of the window treatment. I think that would have kept the sportier design, but you do have super low roof rails. That's gonna help cheat the air a lot more effectively than as having those raised roof rails. Flat black everywhere else, color matched on the door handles, the metallic black on that lower sill area. Yes, we've been doing a little bit of driving out here in San Diego. Please excuse some of the road dirt. There's some construction going on out here. I think one of the things I'm happiest about, and sometimes it's the small things that make you happy, they got rid of that all-wheel drive badge back here. Really, really bizarre placement to put an all-wheel drive badge here. So they got rid of that, and I think it just cleans up the look. Everything else, like I said, the whole two-tone, looking sharp. Everything from the side, except for the wheels, is gonna be the same as 2021 model year. As we spin around the back, you got that nice low roof spoiler, super clean. It extends out with everything for aero. So all these extra pieces is to help get the air down the side and off the back of the vehicle. You can see the work that we're doing with our brake lights, the silver aluminum trim on the XSE setup. We got our RAV4 badge, and then dropping it like it's hot, we're gonna finish off with some sparkly black, just like up front. And of course, I'm really digging this metallic silver finish. Almost looks like a satin steel. Love the style. Hybrid badge, XSE, that's all you need on the back. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk numbers on our RAV4. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod, but just like the Honda CR-V Hybrid, it has a prop rod as well. But underneath the hood, what do we got? First of all, we got a decent engine cover. Nothing too gaudy, nothing too over the top, but when it comes to being a hybrid, of course, you're gonna have that combo deal. We have a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated inline four. When you combine that with the electric motors at the front and the rear, not only are you getting all-wheel drive, like I said, but you're gonna have a combined 219 horsepower. It is mated to an eCVT. The vehicle weighs 3,770 pounds, 0 to 60 in about 7.1 seconds. But guess what? This is not the vehicle that you buy when you live your life a quarter mile at the time. This is about passing the gas stations, and you're gonna pass up plenty because you're gonna get 40 MPGs in the city. Excuse me, I almost forgot. 41 MPGs in the city, 38 on the highway, and a 40 MPGs overall combined. When you compare that to the CR-V Hybrid, you're getting more MPGs when it comes to that drivability. But let's go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what technology and style you're gonna get when you go RAV4 for 2022. All right, guys, we're inside this refreshed 2022 RAV4 Hybrid XSE. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been looking at compact SUVs. Not a ton of them have hybrid technology. I was kind of thinking I was gonna pull the trigger on the Tucson, maybe the CR-V, but I'm liking the changes that they made to the RAV4 for 2022. How much is it? So starting price for the XSE is right around $37,000. Let's see what you're going. If you're getting that kind of trim, to the door panels. Absolutely think that they did super clean style. Nice blue stitching, goes well with our Cavalry blue, and that's part of it being a hybrid, not this particular color, so all of them will have blue stitching. Soft armrests, everything else, no gloss black, so it's gonna wear nicely. The door pocket is on the tight side, so maybe a small Jamba Juice and a In-N-Out burger, and that's about it. Going from the door panel to the dash, the XSE trim does have the optional JBL sound system, like the silver finish, soft touch everywhere. Nice large opening here. You could easily put 5 Twinkies, California style, side to side, all the way from left to right. And then guess what? When we get to the infotainment side of things, when you go XSE, you're getting a 9-inch infotainment system, navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, touchscreen, very easy to navigate through. You could go into your different settings, have everything set up exactly the way you want to work it, and it's got the Wi-Fi spot. Going into navigation, you could customize everything. You can even change the colors of the backgrounds. We got Sirius XM. Speaking of background, throw it into reverse. There's your backup camera. No actual trajectory, movable trajectory, but it does have the trajectory lines. You could also change and just bring up that nice large all together. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, but I like the 360 that they got with the cameras. It would be nice to have a little bit better resolution, but you got your dual climate control, easy to work, the largest AC knobs in the world. That's guaranteed. These are in the Guinness Book of World Records. We got the power on button also in blue. And then you could easily shut off the traction control. Heated seats, no ventilated seats, wireless charging, 12 volt, and a USB in there. I'm gonna move the shifter so Lori could kind of maybe showcase what's going on deep down in there. This guy is gonna control that CVT transmission. And then remember, you do have your mode selector knob. So push for normal, but then you go into sport, it actually glows red. Going to eco, glows green. You got full EV mode and trail mode. I'm gonna keep it in sport because that's how I roll. 2 cup holders, get 2 more Jamba Juices. I love strawberry feels. I know Lori would probably get a nice peach juice drink, I'm sure. There's your key fob, RAV4 with the blue. What does blue mean? Yes, hybrid technology, spin it around. Nice, it's a good size. Not the sexiest key fob, but you know, it is what it is. Soft touch material. Would have been nice to have some blue stitching, so I am gonna zonk that. But what I'm not gonna zonk is look at that great usability. 2 USB-Cs and plenty of room to actually put a whole avocado in there. California's got some of the best avocados. Drop one in there, make some guac. Super soft on the seats. That's why they call it soft-tex with the blue for the hybrid. Nice bolstering, manual controls for the passenger. I got electric controls over here, but what I also got is a finger. And what this finger is gonna operate is our panoramic sunroof. So nice to have all of these options. One touch, just one touch is all it takes. Close it up, and it's as simple as that. But why don't you get your butt over here to the driver's side? I wanna show you behind the wheel of our RAV4 Hybrid. Guys, let's go, Joe, and come on inside the business side of things. In this 2022 RAV4 Hybrid XSE trim, we got 2 memory seat settings, and what's nice is easy to get to seat controls, especially the lower lumbar. Makes your lower back feel oh so good, because remember, you're gonna be able to maximize MPGs. You're gonna be sitting in the seat for a longer time than if you were just driving one of the competitors. Now, when it comes to inside, plenty of headroom. I'm 6 feet tall, I got plenty of headroom. Love the thickness of the wheel, nice leather. Toyota does a great job of keeping the wheels very similar. I personally don't like that, but if you've never been in this vehicle, easy to understand. And then the dash, straightforward. You got a 7-inch digital display in the center. We've been getting 40.9 MPGs in the city here, so we're doing pretty good. You got your charging gauge, and then we also have fuel and coolant, and you could actually scroll through a cornucopia of information there. Really nice. And then also when you go into your different modes, see how it goes from red to green, sport to eco. Let's go hug a palm tree. Don't hug it too tight because it's gonna hurt. And then also you could go just normal. Normal's just plain blue, but we're gonna go red for the sport. And on top of that, you do have a Twinkie tray, which is wonderful. Easy to get to that. Always nice to see, of course, heated steering wheel. And then the cherry on top, look at that digital rear view mirror. That's the technology you're not gonna find in your Honda CRV or an HRV or your Hyundai Tucson. But let's get into the back seat and see if the room is compromised in our RAV4 Hybrid. All right, guys, one thing that's not gonna get zonked is back seat space. Even with the batteries underneath the passenger seat, still plenty of room. Even with the headliner, it's not that close to you. I'm 6 feet tall. With the panoramic sunroof, I feel like I'm swimming in space. Now, the backs of the seats do have the soft-tex material, no pocket on the driver's side, but you do have rear AC vents, which is a nice touch, and not only 1, but 2 USB-Cs, the faster charging port, which is a nice touch. Over here, I got plenty of room. I could easily put a couple pizzas in here, maybe even a Whammo Frisbee. We're gonna go down to the beach and throw around some Whammos. So put a couple Whammos in there. And Whammo, man, there's a lot of room back here to do pretty much just about anything. Wink, wink. Well, I forgot to do the wink. Wink, wink. Throw the armrest down. Super soft. I'm telling you, this soft-tex lives up to its name. 2 cup holders. Feeling good? Let's get into that cargo area and see what we could haul in our hybrid version of the RAV4. All right, guys, time to get into the cargo area. The great news is that even with the batteries for the hybrid system, you're still gonna get some really great usability, and that's what makes the RAV4 so wonderful, is you're gonna get a lot of width, a lot of height. On the driver's side, we got that optional JBL sound system that gives us the subwoofer out back and doesn't take away much space. On the passenger side, you got plenty of room with that cargo net for at least one box of Twinkies, maybe a box and a half, and there's a 12 volt. And if you're wondering, well, how much room do we have? With the seats up, 37.5 cubic feet of space. If you fold the seats down like we're about to, 69.7 cubic feet of space. Look how easy it is. Lift up on the tab and you push. Lift up on the tab and then you push. Now you're gonna have that great space, not totally flat, but pretty close to being totally flat. And under the cargo floor, we do have a full-size spare, which is wonderful. Plus you got some room in there. Easily put some Three Musketeers, maybe some Paydays, maybe even a Reese's peanut butter cup or two. But hit that, nice electric assist. Speaking of a Payday, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go get paid and go on throttle in this RAV4 Hybrid. All right, guys, we're in the 2022 RAV4 Hybrid XSE trim. Obviously, many things on the interior look the same, and they've done some tweaking with the trims. SE's been added to the hybrid setup and ambient colors. So it's nice to see them evolving this generation of the RAV4, and you can't argue with them not doing a redesign because it's still selling like hotcakes. So very, very popular selling vehicle in the United States, actually the most popular selling vehicle because of how many different variants there are and how many different ways you could get your RAV4, let alone RAV4 Hybrid or RAV4 Prime. But just like before, great drivability. Love seeing the color on that hood, the Cavalry blue. Digital rear view mirror is a nice touch, nice addition. And of course the 9-inch infotainment system. People might argue how it's placed in the dash, but it is easy to get to, easy to see, and it does not block your vision whatsoever looking out the windshield. I don't mind having the analog gauges along with the 7-inch digital display. Doesn't bother me. I know some people want to see complete digital displays, and maybe that'll be on the next generation RAV4 when they redesign it. But one thing that's definitely nice is that if you've only driven your standard RAV4, driving the hybrid gives you that extra oomph. Plus, what's awesome is you could go 32 miles on pure EV. So pure electric motor, you could travel up to 32 miles with this hybrid setup. And I really think that this is probably the best way to go. I mean, yes, the Prime has that extra performance and range, but for the price, I think the hybrid, especially this XSE trim, is really in the sweet spot when it comes to price and what you're getting overall. But as we're driving down this road, it's very, very neutral steering. You're getting pretty good feedback. And remember, that electric motor out back is gonna work like an on-off switch. So as soon as there is slip detected, that's when the rear motor will turn on and do its thing to give you that all-wheel drive stickiness to get you through whatever's causing the slip to happen, whether it be rain, dirt, snow, mud, sand, all those different features. I do have it in sport mode, and we will be doing some on-throttle acceleration here very, very shortly. Hey guys, making a U-turn, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, great size with the RAV4. We're gonna stop real quick. Nobody's behind us. We're gonna go on throttle in sport mode. On throttle, here we go. Up the hill, through the woods. And that's the wonderful thing about the hybrid, is with the addition of the electric motors, I really feel like it gives the better balance of power to weight with this RAV4, whereas the standard 2.5 naturally aspirated inline 4 kind of stresses a little too much to move the vehicle, where you're getting a little bit more. Then obviously, if you want even more performance, going the Prime route actually gives you 0 to 60 in the 5.5 second range. So we're knocking about another almost 2 seconds off the 0 to 60 time if you upgrade to the Prime trim. But driving this hybrid, nice and balanced, super smooth, and you're not really feeling the transition of the electric motor turning on and off and the engine turning on and off in conjunction with one another, which is really nice. It's a nice seamless transition. But when it comes to passing, on throttle, here we go. Real easy. All-wheel drive just allows you to grip the road. It's just super smooth. They did work on sound deadening and some of the wind noise quality and whatnot, so for 2022, so that's another nice addition with this update and refresh. All right, guys, once again, on throttle, here we go. I guess the other zonk that I could throw in when it comes to actual driving is that because there's no simulated gears with the CVT, it does stay peg. Like the revs stay peg very high on that inline four, which kind of detracts from the overall driving experience. But like I said, you are shaving a bunch of time 0 to 60 wise than going with your standard RAV4, because the standard RAV4 does 0 to 60 in about 9 seconds, 8.6 seconds, and that has the 8-speed automatic. But hopefully this has given you a nice overall feel of what the XSE brings, especially a little sportier trim, but you can see going over these bumps and whatnot soaks up everything very nicely. We're gonna get back to where this started and wrap it all up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a crazy time here in California. Definitely want to thank the whole team over at Toyota USA for allowing Raity's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think about this 2022 RAV4 Hybrid. Has Toyota done enough for this new model year, changing some of the exterior, changing some of the interior, and obviously keeping those major MPGs flowing? Let me know in the comment section, would you rather go CRV? But until that day, if you're new to the channel, hit that button. I promise you'll want to come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raity's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera, working it like a champ no matter what state we're in. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.